Earlier today was the UFC 314 pre-fight press conference. You had the entire main card up on stage. Alexander Volkanovski, Diego Lopez, Michael Chandler, Paddy Pimblett, Yair Rodriguez, Patricio Pittbull, Mitchell-Silva, Bryce Mitchell, and to top it all off, you have Nikita Krylov and Dominic Reyes. And there were a lot of important moments from this press conference. I say that a bit satirically. And we're going to break it down and recap it all in this video. And what an absolute barn burner it was. Can't wait to order the pay-per-view. I'm being sarcastic. I'm joking around. I actually don't care that much about the press conferences. But for some reason, you guys love the recaps. We're going to look at a bunch of different clips from this press conference. Michael Chandler absolutely humiliated himself like usual. I mean, this isn't even a joke. Absolutely humiliated himself. Okay? You have Yair Rodriguez and Diego Lopez going back and forth, seem to get a bit heated. We're going to take a look at that clip and discuss supposedly what they're talking about. You have Bryce Mitchell getting absolutely shit on by the crowd and also bragging about killing animals. So that was interesting. And then you really have Dominic Reyes and Nikita Krylov going back and forth. All right, I'm making that part up. I'll just recap kind of the general consensus of what happened, or at least my general consensus of what happened at the presser. Then we'll check out each clip and react to it. Let's go fight by fight, okay? Let's start off with Nikita Krylov and Dominic Reyes. Somebody asked them the hard-hitting questions. Can the judges take the night off, man? And Nikita Krylov says, when do I ever fight careful? When do I ever fight smart? Man, the crowd was rip-roaring. I was clapping. I was fist-pumping a little bit. Okay, nothing really. Nikita Krylov, Dominic Reyes, I think they each got one question. Absolutely meaningless. We have Yair Rodriguez and Patricio Pittbull. I'm ready for Saturday night. Yair actually says, I'm not much of a trash talker. I'm ready for Saturday night. We'll find out Saturday, Max Holloway style. Pittbull says he's ready to be the best. He is the best 145er on the planet, and he's ready for the title. Pittbull, outside of that, really nothing. The Bryce Mitchell, Mitchell-Silva, for the most part, we're going to check out the important clips. A couple parts that I'm not going to show you in terms of clips. You can go check out the full press conference if you want to. Bryce Mitchell was asked about having to retire because of all the brain damage he's going to get on Saturday night. Apparently, Mitchell-Silva had said that earlier this week. Bryce said, I was born with brain damage. I'll be all right. And then Bryce was also asked, why does he feel like Silva's coming after him? He doesn't care. And the crowd was barking. Okay, the crowd was barking at Bryce Mitchell while he was answering that. Mitchell-Silva says he doesn't agree with anything that Bryce Mitchell says. Mitchell-Silva tells Bryce to try and sleep instead of laying awake because Bryce said Mitchell-Silva was haunting his dreams and that he was thinking about women. He was having lust because of Mitchell-Silva, which is very bizarre. Mitchell-Silva was also asked about his promotion of the fight, and he said, I've been doing nothing. Bryce has been doing it by essentially saying dumb shit. I'm not quoting him directly. And he says, I'm going to open up a daycare and educate him. That is actually a direct quote that's kind of corny and doesn't understand Bryce Mitchell. So we'll get back to Bryce Mitchell and Mitchell-Silva in a second when we check out some clips. Chandler and Paddy. What does Chandler make of Paddy's rise? And Chandler went on some spiel. I deserve to be here, and I'm going to find that chin early and often. And Paddy said something along the lines of, you know, he's smarter than Chandler, and he's going to finish Chandler, and him and his coaches are tape studying, and that his chin is granite. They're both asked about Conor McGregor. Paddy welcomed it, but is focused on Chandler. We're going to take a look at Chandler's answer. We're going to get to Chandler's answer when we look at the clips. Then the main event, before we get into any clips, Volkanovski, Lopez. Volk says winning the title will be the biggest moment of his career. Oh my God, hard-hitting stuff here. Lopez is always dangerous and looking for the finish, but I'm the best. He was asked about walking out to the song Down Under, which apparently is a hit. Diego Lopez was asked. Apparently there's been some type of discussion. I don't know if it's by Yair specifically or other fighters or just the fan base about Diego representing not only Brazil, but also Mexico. There's more discussion of that kind of with the Yair Diego back and forth. And that's Volk really said nothing important other than, man, I'm the best I've ever been. And man, I didn't take any cheat meals and I didn't drink any alcohol. And I'm bringing that belt back to Australia. That's the gist of everything I can tell you that you're not going to see in any of these clips. And we're 5 minutes in, okay? We're 5 minutes in right now. We're going to get to the clips, okay? Honestly, 70% of the press conference was boring as hell. To be honest, I almost didn't even want to do this video, but if I sat through this entire thing, I'm going to recap it for you guys. Paddy really didn't have any moments. Crowd was kind of on his side, didn't really say anything too notable. Let's get to the clips. We're going to start with Chandler absolutely humiliating himself. This is right after Paddy answered, because apparently McGregor posted his 150th, pad hitting video talking about coming back. He's going to be keeping his eye on Pimblett and Chandler, which is hilarious. I can't remember who it was, but somebody told me there was YouTubers breaking down Conor's mitt work. This was like 2 years ago, and supposedly it was like mitt work from like 2017 too. Which I honestly, at this point, I'm so tired of hearing about McGregor. And I know I cover him too. I was going to do a video this week, but I'm tired of talking about him. But let's see what Chandler had to say. Chandler's definitely not going to cope and embarrass himself and talk about McGregor, right?
Question for Michael. I know we've asked you about Conor for the better part of 2 years, but he's tweeted that he's watching this fight. Do you view that as just Conor's kind of throwing it out there, or do you actually believe he's watching this?
I don't know. I'm sure he's watching. He watches, and he is very interested in coming back, but can he put together a training camp?
This dude, I don't even mean to interrupt this quickly. There is something mentally wrong with this dude. Yeah, I'm sure he's watching, and I know he's interested in coming back. Like, shut up, dude. Shut up.
That's the real question. We don't know. All I know is you can see by my actions. Fighting Charles Oliveira in November, and now fighting 5 months later, Paddy Pimblett, putting my ranking on the line, going out to brave the unknown. I'm going to stay active. The first 26 months in the organizations, I weighed in 6 times, fought 5 times, fight of the night, fight of the year, debut of the year, knockout of the year. All I do is put on great fights.
So he's talking about how active he is and that he fought Charles Oliveira and now he's fighting Paddy. I don't know if this is blatantly obvious to the fan base. I'm assuming that it is. This dude is coping about the fact that he sat out for 2.5 years and Conor McGregor left him at the altar. Okay? I was 5 fights in 20 months and I'm fight of the night and blah, 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 participation trophy. I lose all to the best guys, blah, blah, blah. I mean, this guy is coping about the fact that he sat out and everyone thought he was an embarrassment. Or not everyone at first, but then eventually everyone came to my side. But let's continue. It gets worse. It gets worse.
And I do it for you guys. And on Saturday night, we're going to do it again. I don't really care what Conor tweets. If he comes back, we got to finish the Ultimate Fighter 31, and he's going to be impressed by my performance on Saturday.
Oh my, this dude is seeking validation from Conor McGregor. I don't care what Conor tweets. I guarantee you this dude's got notifications on Conor's post. I guarantee. He's like, man, this dude doesn't lift heavy weights. I hate to rewind a press conference right now, but let's listen to that tail end again.
Debut of the year, knockout of the year. All I do is put on great fights, and I do it for you guys. And on Saturday night, we're going to do it again. I don't really care what Conor tweets. If he comes back, we got to finish the Ultimate Fighter 31.
I'll tell you right now, there ain't a person alive. Nobody cares about the Ultimate Fighter 31. You find me one person that's like, man, I really need to see the end of the Ultimate Fighter 31. It's been eating me alive. I feel like it was a cliffhanger. Find me that person. Send location. I'll knock their teeth down their throat. Because obviously they don't know what they're talking about, okay? All right, but let's carry on with Chandler humiliating himself.
And he's going to be impressed by my performance on Saturday night.
Yeah, man, I'm going to impress Conor on Saturday night. Maybe he'll fight me and oil check me. Sniff his fingers afterwards. I mean, this guy's humiliation. Complete humiliation. Let's skip ahead. I don't want to spend too much time. I don't want to make this video too long. Pause. We have to hear Chandler being asked about being a dirty cheat. Because that's exactly what he is. He's a cheater. He's a dirty fighter. One of the dirtiest fighters in all the UFC. And I'm not talking about when he's burying his head in Conor's ass. I'm talking about the way he fights and breaks the rules. He's confronted to his face here.
Good Chandler, this week, Paddy Pimblett's come out and called you a cheater and a dirty fighter, saying he might speak to the ref before the fight. Do you take that personally, and what do you have to say to that?
Absolutely not, man. Hey, listen, I've gone out and I fight. It's no big deal.
You go out and you cheat. It is a big deal.
We're going to go out there, we're going to fight. The referee is going to referee the fight. It's all good.
He's also said that you can't knock out a Scouser. What makes you so confident that you're going to be the first to knock out a Scouser?
Hey, man, he hasn't been knocked out yet, but he's also not been knocked out by these Jefferson County Javelins. the son of Mike Chandler Sr., a union carpenter for all those years. When I hit people, they go to sleep. I don't need a jingle to try to sell myself. You know who has jingles? Second-rate car insurance salesmen, ambulance chasers, and fast food. I'm the real deal, and the real deal don't need a jingle.
Do I even need to address that? When I was embarrassingly sitting through this press conference, my fiance heard Michael Chandler say that. And she said to me, when I was taking down the timestamp, she said, he does realize he sounds like a corny used car salesman who's trying to like script lines. I was like, honestly, reacting to Michael Chandler is so difficult because it's like, what am I supposed to say? This dude is a straight up cornball. He hasn't felt these, what do you even say? These javelins. Shut your mouth, bro. Just shut up, man. This dude is desperate. This dude is mentally broke. I'm not just, I swear, people think I just hate Chandler and I just pick apart everything he does. No, there's something off with this dude. I'm telling you, I've been telling you guys for years. But yeah, he doesn't need a jingle to sell a fight and lottie and javelin. What do you say? Hold on, I gotta go back and listen to this cringe again. This is gonna be painful. Look, even this guy's disgusted. Nobody finds this funny. This guy's disturbed. This guy's not even paying attention. Everyone's, I mean, how is this guy even smiling here? This shit's embarrassing.
Knocked out yet, but he's also not been knocked out by these Jefferson County javelins.
Jefferson County javelins. Oh man, sweet. Honestly, do I continue to play this because this shit is so cringy?
Son of Mike Chandler Sr., a union carpenter for all those years. When I hit people, they go to sleep. I don't need a jingle to try to sell myself. You know who has jingles? Second-rate car insurance salesmen, ambulance chasers, and fast food. I'm the real deal, and the real deal don't need a jingle.
He scripted that. That's his jingle. He scripted that. After he was done staring in the mirror, jerking off, he then repeated these lines to himself in the mirror. Man, I don't need a jingle. Ambulances and whatever and this and that and Jefferson County javelins. Get this guy out of my face. He disgusts me. Absolutely disgusts me. Let's move on, okay? I can't even talk about this dude anymore. I'm getting infuriated. Let's talk about Mitchell-Silva gets the crowd barking and Bryce Mitchell. Actually, you know what? We got to go back a little bit. We're going to start off with this Brazilian reporter asking Mitchell-Silva a question. He's just about to start, and the crowd immediately starts absolutely shitting on idiot Bryce Mitchell. Listen to this.
A sua última... Mitchell-Silva, a sua última coletiva... Vamos lá, Mitchell-Silva, sua última coletiva...
So there you go. F Bryce Mitchell over and over and over again. You know that hurt Bryce. They should have been like, they should have been chanting the earth is flat. That would have really gotten in Bryce's crawl. Next clip we're going to take a look at. This was kind of weird because the crowd was actually behind Mitchell-Silva. And I guess because of translation, they weren't sure what he was trying to do here. So it seemed kind of like it fell a little bit flat. But he starts barking. And then this was when Bryce brags about killing animals. Which, really good one, Bryce.
Why do I promote good events? 3.
Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention this. The end of this video, we're absolutely going to shit on MMA media, and in particular, Ariel Helwani. I forgot to tease that in the beginning. But there you go, Mitchell-Silva barking with the crowd, and then Bryce is going to jump in here.
I put a lot of dogs down in my day.
Your parents should have put you down, Bryce. I put a lot of dogs down in my day. The earth is flat in my day. I don't take my dog to the vet in my day. I mean, seriously. I mean, I think... Never mind, man. Never mind. I mean, seriously. Bryce's mom and also his dad / uncle, maybe you should have put him down, to be quite honest. Okay?
All those dogs that like to come up to the farm, they kill my animals. They come to harm me and my family, and they come barking. You know what they all got in common? They squeal right before they die.
Dude's bragging about killing dogs. They squeal right before they die, man. I mean, like, so how often is it? And maybe this happens sometimes. I understand there are farms where, you know, you have to protect your chickens and whatnot and this and that. This dude is saying that there are countless dogs coming up to his farm trying to hurt him and his family. These dogs are trying to perform a home invasion, and Bryce has to put them down. And he enjoys it so much that he likes talking about them whimpering before he snuffs them out, okay? Before he snuffs them out. Look, I don't want to spend too much time on this. I think Bryce is kind of a funny character. This in particular wasn't funny, but I find it really bizarre, and I knew this was going to happen after the whole, you know, fishing with Hitler thing. It's really bizarre that the fans all of a sudden really want to get on Bryce's side. Like, hell yeah, Bryce, you killed them dogs, brother. Hell yeah, Bryce, I don't care. You fucking cousin, Bryce. Hell yeah, brother. I just find it weird, man. They're like, oh yeah, man, Bryce. Yeah, man. Discriminate. Do this, do that. They back this type of stuff. Like, I think Bryce is just an interesting character and very, very stupid. So I actually have pity on Bryce a bit. But man, it's just very bizarre. I figured I'd highlight that. Dude's bragging about that. And there's people probably hyping that up. That's not a good look at all. Next thing we're going to take a look at. And this is the last clip about Bryce and Mitchell-Silva. Mitchell-Silva, what's the word? I mean, to be honest, I think he just bodied Bryce here. He intimidated Bryce here. I think my takeaway from this presser is that Bryce is scared of Mitchell-Silva. This clip in particular isn't going to tell you all that much, but I think Bryce is scared, man. He looks like a bully little kid.
Hold up. I respect you as an athlete, and I know you're looking at me through that TV. Just look through those eyes. Look in my eyes. I'm going to knock you out, brother.
And Bryce has got nothing to say. Crowd really didn't like Bryce that much. There were some cheers, you know, you saw in that last clip. Bryce has just got kind of interesting one-liners, essentially. Because at least he's not scripting them like Michael Chandler. He's just ripping them off the dome, right off the peanut brain. And it makes Bryce interesting, an interesting character. Somebody gave Bryce a character in this community. Anyway, Bryce is scared of Mitchell-Silva. That's my takeaway from this presser. Last thing we're going to check out, okay? And there's multiple clips of this. This is actually a long clip. And it doesn't just happen here, okay? It doesn't just happen here. There's some more after the presser that some of you may have missed. But this is Diego Lopez and Yair Rodriguez getting into it at the presser. I can't remember if I included the question in this clip. I don't believe I did. But Diego's essentially asked about potentially winning the belt and fighting Yair Rodriguez. And Diego answers it in an honest way that pisses Yair off.
Carrying this car with Yair, and yesterday he said some things, and not many kind of words for you during the press conference, but right now, given you win this, he wins this fight, do we see you guys in Guadalajara in September?
By the way, we're going to get to this when we look at Ariel Helwani. Shame on this media member. They are killing the sport. By the way, Dana White couldn't bother to show up. I meant to mention that off rip as well. It's John Anik. Dana couldn't even show up. He's too busy promoting Power Slap and hanging out up Turkey Allah Shake's ass. Okay? But yeah, man, if Yair wins, man, after breaking that losing streak, man, you going to defend your title against him, brother? Guadalajara, Mexico? Horrible question. That was the translator, but the horrible question by whoever asked that. They should be ashamed of themselves.
¿Cuántas derrotas tiene Yair seguida?
How many losses does he have in a row?
¿Cuántas derrotas tiene consecutivas? No sé, que la responda Yair.
No, dime tú.
You have it. How many losses in a row does he have?
Suficiente.
Yair, ¿qué te parecen esas expresiones? Culón.
Oh.
So from my understanding, that's pussy. Okay, that's pussy right there. You just call him a pussy. Then he goes, oh, hell no, brother. Hell no, brother. You see this cowboy hat?
Culón.
Oh.
Dímelo.
Culón.
Yo,
Eres culón, ¿sabes por qué es culón? No le pegaron a Diego contra tú y tu equipo.
Say it to my face.
No le pegaron a Diego no le pegaron a Marco contra tú y tu equipo.
Escucha.
Le pegaron a Marco contra tú y tu equipo, ¿sí o no? Esperando el momento correcto estaba para decirte esto en tu pinche.
Look at Mike Chandler right here. He's fantasizing about Conor McGregor's bare ass in Roadhouse. That's what he's doing. Volk is like, what is going on here? He's just smiling.
Oh, we were waiting for it. And you guys fight me. Is that what you want to fight me? What's going on?
Toca en alguien de mi equipo y confesarás más con frecuencia con confesión él.
Don't talk about my team, man. Don't talk about my team. Don't talk about my team.
So there the translator's doing his best ability to try to translate. We're going to check out some clarification on this in a second.
Get it.
It looks like Yair right there said, chupa mi pinga puta. Nah, I'm kidding. I don't know if he said that or not.
This is Sir Bryce. Bryce,
I forgot about this. What is this media member doing, by the way? Why is it the media, whenever we have an interesting moment, they decide to interrupt? But in this case, it was actually funny, man. They're arguing in the background. Listen to this dumb question they asked Bryce.
after the fight, would you be open to saying a prayer with Mr. Silva?
I'm always open to saying a prayer with anybody.
Tu ameaçaste uma chica e não vai pagar.
Estás pendejo.
Listen.
Mi equipo no olvida. No cague que mi equipo
Al pendejo que estás sentado
Hey,
enfrente,
don't
que no sé ni lo que
threaten
habla
my
ese
team,
güey, le
man.
dije.
Don't threaten.
Todo mundo
Que
não
si
sabe.
no, pregúntale a tu amiga.
Mi equipo está aquí y
Qué
él
bueno, pues qué bueno que están aquí.
My
porque
team
también
is
ellos
here. They know what you did.
My teammates know what you did. Again, we'll get some clarification on this second. There's like another 20 seconds of this.
My team is here. They know what you did.
Mucho cuidado. No se
Mucho
olvida
cuidado
cuando
tú.
amenazaste a mi compañera de equipo.
Watch out, bro. Watch out.
Ahora escucha, una mujer no se amenaza.
Estás pendejo.
Stop with the threats.
No torzas las palabras, no torzas las palabras.
No mezcla las palabras.
Y tampoco se le pegan entre 10 a una
Son hechos
persona.
reales. Son hechos
Tampoco se le
reales.
pegan entre 10 a una persona.
Stop with the threats,
Tú
bro.
lo
It's
hiciste
gonna
con
be
tu
real.
equipo, Marcos.
Who's got the next question?
I'm surprised Chandler didn't jump in there and say, I got one dude on my mind. So anyway, there's some back and forth there. And for clarification, we have Rodrigo del Campo Gonzalez. Yair is accusing Diego and his team of beating up former UFC fighter and Yair's friend, Marco Beltran. Diego then accuses Yair of threatening a female teammate of his and that he'll pay for it. See next tweet for more context. And then you have this next tweet where he says, context for American media who don't know, one of Yair's friends, former UFC fighter Marco Beltran, had a beef with Diego Lopez in his gym for years. From this, Yair's had a beef with Diego for some time, especially after calling him out for this past UFC Mexico show. So essentially they have a beef. I don't really care all that much to delve into the, soap opera details of it until, something ends up being more interesting. But my thoughts on this, okay? Shout out to this guy. I just realized, shout out to this guy for covering this. Listen, I knew immediately what was going to happen. But before we get into that, okay, and I don't want to make this video too long, so we gotta hurry up here, okay? We gotta hurry up here. I want to show you what you may have missed. I gotta mute this because they're playing music here, and I don't want to get a copyright. This wasn't the only time they had back and forth. Listen to this. Or look at this, not listen to it, okay? I'll narrate it for you. They pan through the crowd. Then here they are talking shit to each other some more. They got the guy with the bald head and the beard in between them. They're going at it some more. Lottie. Okay, all right. Now, before we get into my kind of video ending rant here in a second, what do I make of all this? I got to be honest. Okay, it's mildly interesting for a boring-ass press conference. Supposedly, there's also some beef about Diego representing Mexico and Brazil. There were some kind of hints at that earlier in the press conference. But to me, this means nothing. I mean, Diego, undeserved title challenger. Yair on a losing streak. I think it's funny. Diego Lopez said exactly what he thought. I mean, you're asking about me defending my title against him. How many losses does he have in a row? Obviously, that got in Yair's craw. Okay. Obviously, he was sensitive about that. But that was a perfect line from Diego Lopez. But for me, right now, it's a meaningless fight. After Saturday, we can find out. But I'm telling you right now, if they both win and they book this fight, it is an absolute sham of a UFC title fight, okay? If they both lose or Yair wins and Diego loses, no problem. Book the fight. Guadalajara, Mexico, UFC Noche. I want to show you a tweet real quick from my Twitter. Notice the timestamp, 5:32 p.m. The UFC and the dumbass MMA media is definitely going to try to use this Lopez and Yair press conference back and forth to justify another undeserved title shot and skip over the uncrowned champ Movsar Evloev. Uncrowned champ Movsar Evloev. That is partially satirical, but really not, because it's so annoying to me that in the UFC, guys will go on these long winning streaks and still not get title shots because other guys have Dana White privilege. But forget about the uncrowned champ, which I know is going to get in a lot of people's crawls. 5:32. The media is going to push this, especially a large portion of the media that likes to turn the UFC into WWE. 5:32 p.m. What do we get? What do we get? You guys want to see a timestamp on this? 5:52 p.m. He reposts a clip of Yair and Diego going back and forth in Espanol. 2 thoughts after this magic. Ariel was beaten off to this. Translator proves once again why he's truly the GOAT. If the stars align, the results this on Saturday, this will be a perfect UFC Noche 3 main or co-main. Ariel is trying to shoehorn Yair Rodriguez into a title fight. If the stars align, aka Diego wins, Yair wins, we book another undeserved title shot with Movsar Evloev, the rightful #1 contender, again being denied a title shot. People like Ariel, man, and the MMA media are truly trying to kill the sport, man, and just leave no meritocracy. Yair's going to fight for the belt. He's on like a 2-fight losing streak, right? Right? He lost to Volkanovski, then Ortega, right? You know what? Let me just fact check myself. I'm pretty sure he's on a 2-fight losing streak right now. Of course, Tapology doesn't have UFC up right now. Okay, let me go here and fact check myself in real time. Let me just make sure. I believe that's true. Dude's on a 2-fight losing streak. Okay, I was right. All that just to be able to... I mean, last win was February of 2023. And we're trying to get this guy a title shot. What an absolute joke. But again, 5:52. And again, 5:32 here. So 20 minutes before Ariel even... I knew it was coming, man. I knew it was coming. And then to top it all off, I swear on my life, Ariel Helwani will do anything to try and cheat a Muslim fighter out of a rightfully earned title shot. I used to say this wasn't true, and I didn't think Ariel had ulterior motives, and I think it's a combination of things. I don't think it's just solely this. I think it's a combination of Movsar Evloev's managers, Ali Abdelaziz. Ariel tries to play the game, though. Recently, he was talking about how Movsar deserves the shot, but now he knows he's trying to use his influence to build up this WWE encounter and promote another undeserved title shot, all to skip over Movsar Evloev. This guy's just pissing me off. So, thoughts on the presser? Relatively uneventful for the first half. Bryce seemed like a little bullied school kid, and I felt bad for him, kinda. Mitchell-Silva has the potential to become a star in the UFC. Yair and Diego have some weird beef. If they both lose or Yair wins, Diego loses, perfect fight for UFC Noche. I do agree on that. You could interpret Ariel's tweet as that as well, but I don't believe that's what he's saying. And I think that's pretty much it, boys. Nikita Krylov, Dominic Reyes, couldn't be more excited after the presser. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Don't forget to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. I'll be live streaming the entire fight card on Saturday if you care to join me. And I'll see you guys in the next video.